Yeah, so what's up? I'm about to make a video, and then in today's video, I'm trying to see how I can be much more persuasive. How I can be much more persuasive while I'm like doing my stuff, recording my video. So, like I said, my videos are not really scripted. I just have a couple of bullet points, and I go with those bullet points. So let's hope it's a success because I see myself getting better. So right now, I'm about to make a video on my book, my summary of the Diary of the CEO. And the reason I do this since episodic is because one, I don't have to think about any content idea. Two, okay, I think I have 30 minutes left. One, I don't think about any content idea. Two is it allows me to connect extra ideas for other people. It's like giving you a perspective to the book before you get to read it because I feel like if I can persuade people to read this book, because this book is like packed with knowledge. That's why I chose this book. It's pretty interesting. Now I'm going for a white shirt because I want to like I'm just trying out the brands. So I have my brand colors are white, black, and gray. Although my caps are different, I rarely have those colors. I think I have them. I have them. So let me set up the lights. I have my bullet points. I have about 6 bullet points. And the reason I do bullet points is it's like a what's that word? It's like trying to learn how to walk. You have to start from somewhere, right? So let me see. My so I think my light setup has gotten better ever since I started this thing. My audio has gotten better. Before I used to like use the mic on the lowest gain, which was killing the audio of my content. Uh, and then I like to give this ambience, it's kind of this nice ambience behind me with the bookshelf lights. Yeah, that's about 3 minutes to set up. I really wish I had one shortcut to set up everything. Let me see. I think I've hit that color too many times. Alright, so I'm wearing a red cap. Let me see how a red cap would go on something like this. So I might make short form content today. I might. But another thing I'm seeing right that's also it's also helping my content system is the fact that this thing I'm doing also helps my content system because but from each bullet point, I get to craft a tweet that I think somebody will find valuable. My tweet gets shared across other platforms. Let me see. Let me try to make this some extent. Yeah. Hmm. Let me see. So turn this direction. What if it's red light is going to be hitting me? And now that I'm getting closer to the camera, it feels much more. That is the word intimate. That is intimate the right word to use. Yeah, getting closer to the camera gives room for that nice background. And okay, I think my lights can be behind me, so let me drop this light. To make the light better and shadowy. So let me just increase the power, the brightness, right? Where it comes from. This side, this side. And I'm still playing around with the lights. I want to figure it out. I'm considering getting the black, maybe going to shoot at my studio, having like a fixed setup. Where over there, I just go sit down and press the record button. Because everything there, I have it black fully. So very, very soon. I'm still experimenting a lot of things. Like I said, since documenting my journey is my life's mission, why am I rushing it? Oh, also, so sorry, I'm also doing some backup. One major problem with creating content is backing up because, well, within these 3 months of my vlog, mind you, I compress all of my videos every day, and within this just a 3 months of my vlog, at compressed video, right? I have compressed up to a terabyte. Now, if you want to know what the real file sizes were, you have to multiply that by at least 10. That is about 10 terabytes. That's 10 terabytes of data recorded in 3 months. In a year, I'm estimating about 40 terabytes. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm so very soon I'm going to have like I have my network attached storage, which is doing a lot. So I think I have about this is 5 minutes to do my entire setup. So let me hope I nailed it this time around. So let's get right into it. Okay. Oh, sorry, my audio. Mic check. Confirm. Is the mic gain at the highest? Nope. Let's take this bitch to the highest. Yeah, because I noticed. I'm also trying to learn how to talk slowly. So it's a lot of therapy for me, and I feel this will be better than I'm going to pay somebody to help me analyze my speech. So it's ridiculous, right? All right. So ask, don't tell. The questions. Hmm? I think I'm on the wrong deal. Okay, or behavior effects. Okay, so just watch me freestyle my entire hook. My entire hook is to give them the promise that is what they will benefit from the video if they listen and they properly understand everything I'm about to explain to them. So the hook is going to be something punchy, right? So it's a promise, it's a benefit I'm giving to them. So a hook. So this video is supposed to help you learn how to persuade. So this video is supposed to make you more persuasive. So when I say more persuasive, you'll be able. Wait, no. The benefit is then how to persuade, negotiate, and in the process break limiting belief. This video is going to help you become more persuasive. At the same time, it will teach you how to negotiate with other people, negotiate with yourself, so you can help break limiting beliefs. So this is the chapter 6 of the Diary of a CEO. It's a very great book, and I hope that after explaining this summarizing this chapter to you, you may go and grab a copy of it. Stephen Bartlett did a very wonderful job here. So, you know what? The title of this episode is Ask, Don't Tell. The question or the behavior effect. Now, a lot of people are trying to convince other people, right? They are trying to force other people to do certain things. But instead of forcing, right? This is why you should learn how to become more persuasive. Because what you're doing is when you force somebody, you're making them have a negative reaction towards you as a person. When you persuading itself looks like manipulation, but if done with the right intention, it's called persuading. With the wrong intention, it's called manipulating. Very thin line. So now, the main thing here you're going to take from this episode is about asking questions. If you know how to ask questions, you can achieve a whole lot than somebody who is making statements. That's why when you make statements, it feels like you are directing, you are forcing, you are commanding. Even the best leaders, they know how to use this as a powerful tool. If you know how to question, it becomes easier to talk to women. If you know how to question, it becomes easy to get things. But when you give commands, yes, if you're in a place of leadership and you're giving commands, at some point, it just feel one-sided. Even the best military leaders, I think even Jocko Willink talked about how he uses questions to assist. And one beautiful thing about question is the fact that everybody has an idea, the solution to their problems. Still, they want somebody else to tell them. Which reminds me of one of my online mentors that I saw. He made a quote. He said that he's into fraud, right? He said he's into fraud. And when he asked, what do you mean by you're into fraud? He says, whenever companies come to him and they say they have a problem, he asks them for what they think is a potential solution. 9 out of 10 times, he goes to do his research and discovers that that is already their solution. So He goes for a couple of weeks, prepares a couple of slides, then he appears in their office with his team, and then they break down the solution to them, step by step guide, and they pay him good. They pay him in dollars, tens of thousands, tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because mind he's a Nigerian, so that's why I said tens to hundreds. And he's living well. He travels around the world because he knows how to question. You see, even if you know how to question, it becomes easier to sell because there's a psychology, there's an art to question. Now, I'm not here to talk about the tonality because there's also a tonality, right? You know, delivering questions. And the people who have nailed this thing to their second nature are women. When women want to get you to do something, they ask questions. They don't imply. This is why a lot of women manipulate men and the men don't see it coming. Now, asking questions is an art to it, which I think I'll create a different video about the art of questioning, right? Even if you want to become an interesting person, as an introvert, this is very powerful. As an introvert, by just learning how to ask questions, right? You can just appear to be very interesting just by asking very good questions. So now, when it comes to asking questions, right? There are three kinds of questions I want you to take note of here. And the most powerful, I'll start the most powerful. The first one is will. Like if you start your question with the word will, W-I-double-L. W, not W, W-I-double-L, will. When you ask the question with will, right? Will you do this? It shows that it implies that you are making the person take ownership of the action you're about him to take. So, for example, is when you go to the grocery store, if he says yes, right? If he says yes, what that means is that he has, to some extent, right, for some extent, made a promise to you subconsciously, even to himself, that he's going to do something. He's going to take that action. And if he does not take that action, he has broken his promise. He has broken his own word that he gave out. Now, it's more powerful to use that than can or could. So can and could implies that does the person have the ability to do it? Or so can you go to the store for me? It might be a yes or a no question, right? Obviously, it can be a yes or no answer, but you're giving too much room, right? For him to say, for him to come up with excuses, for him to wiggle around, right? When you use the word can or will, you're mostly implying that the person may or may not have the ability to do it. So that means is, can you? That is when things like other objects that, I have to go here, I have to run this around, I have to be somewhere, because what? That can or could at the beginning of the question imply that he may not have the ability, he may have some limitations. And mind you, one life hack is if you give yourself limitations, right, you will be bounded by that limitation because you gave it to yourself. But when you begin to open your mind, it's very difficult, and that is why questioning, which I'll get to later, is also very powerful to break limiting beliefs. Now, the third kind of questions are would, right, which implies that there is a condition, yeah, and that condition implies that it may be a possibility rather than a probability, which is a very thin line. So, for it being a possibility, is that it is a yes or no. But for it to be a probability, you can raise the level of probability between yes or no, because when you say possibility, yes or no is binary, right? Yes or no. But probability, if you're a math student, because how's a math student, you can learn how to raise the level of probability that the person says yes. So, would you go to the store for me in the afternoon? Because why is would. Think about it. So these are three different questions. Will you go to the store for me? It's a yes or no thing, right? It's direct. It's direct. So you're giving me what do they call it? You're giving me a yes or no answer, and you're going to be bounded by that answer. Can all of a sudden the mind of the person is popping up in multiple questions, right? Now, would also is like, well, it depends on the conditions he meets himself at that moment, right? Whether it's going to be a possibility or a probability, right? So now, when it comes to trying to give yourself a behavior or break a belief, if you keep asking yourself certain questions, like for example, is you want to break a belief about genes, because one of the greatest lies I've ever been told is because of your certain genes, you cannot do certain things. Or because of your genes, you are predisposed to certain illnesses. In that process, a lot of people have actually gone ahead to force it, but not understanding certain things. So, for example, I have I have I have a friend who says that okay, who believes this idea of genes. And whenever I ask him about, or rather, he brought it up and I asked him questions, and then he felt very, very stupid, which shows you that questions itself force people to think, so to some extent, and also it also helps you to guide their thinking. So he says, okay, fine, genes are responsible for a lot of illnesses. I said, watch this. So if you say genes, right? Give or take, there are four men in the family, three kids, one father. Two of them have maybe cancer of a particular organ, or maybe cancer, let's say cancer of the pancreas, and the other two don't have. What do you think the difference is? He said he doesn't know. Luck. I said no. What about the situation where somebody has a particular gene, right, that's predisposed to maybe certain a particular cancer, but his lifestyle that he lives does not make that cancer happen. Do you think the cancer is going to happen? He looked around and said no. So what does that tell you? The genes, right, might be a blueprint for possibility of that illness. But if the lifestyle of that person does not match, right, does not match the lifestyle does not match what will trigger those genes to come up and cause cancer, he's not going to have cancer. And there's been countless research telling people that you might have any sort of gene, right? But if you live your life in a certain way, you have certain results. So, for example, people use this excuse of why they are fat and why they can't go to the gym to build muscles. But if you keep asking them, okay, all right, keep asking them questions that are more of yes or no. And if you want to influence somebody, try to ask questions that make them lean towards the positive side because you want to effect a change in behavior. And this is also what to do with yourself. Now, speaking about negotiating, right? I've used this tactic several times to negotiate, and before I've done this negotiation several times, I have never read a book on negotiation. It's just questions that I've been asking. And mind you, this is me looking back. This is not me reading books because I've been negotiating since I would say I was 19 with my dad, not just with my dad, but on behalf of my dad. So different deals. And then looking back when I was 25, I was like, wow, how did I do this? It's just because I asked questions. And I noticed that since I was very, very small, I've been asking questions. Now, so asking questions to me is second nature. I am very curious. A lot of people, right, they find it very difficult. But they find it irritating that I ask them questions. But I ask questions, even till today when I'm in my MMA class, I ask questions that may disrupt the class, but that's just me. And every single time I've been in the room for negotiation, I've almost always succeeded in that negotiation. And looking back at it, mind you, looking back at it is because I asked questions. I remember walking, like my last negotiation, I remember walking into the room, it was just me and four people. And by asking questions, and mind you, these questions was not a way of me trying to hardball them because all of my I'm a firm believer that if I'm negotiating with you, I want to have a situation where both of us are winning, where it's a win-win situation. It's not a win-lose situation. So, what will happen best for both parties is a situation where we both win. And whenever I kept on asking them questions and they were rethinking their answers, that was what made me strike with a very good deal. To be very, very frank, I felt like I think I multiplied the deal by two times what I was getting. But still, they weren't losing, which I'll get back to in a different video because to be very, very frank, I don't have a step-by-step guide on how to negotiate, right? All I know is that I have used some tactics and they've worked for me. So I'll get back to you later. Questioning. Whenever somebody wants to try to manipulate you, which obviously a lot of women try to manipulate men, and they mostly imply questions. They mostly use questions to manipulate men. I'm just letting you know the power of questioning because it feels like I may have digressed to a video I promise to make in the future, which is the art of asking questions, right? So let me see. So now, whenever you force yourself to be in a yes or no question, it is you being brutally honest with yourself. Because to be very, very frank, yes, I know a lot of questions have nuances, right? So it's that may not be directly yes or no, but whenever you force yourself to be yes or no, you are forcing yourself to be objective about something. You're forcing yourself to be to take bitter truth, and with those bitter truths, which makes you imply action. So whenever you're facing like honest truth, bitter truth, you're asking yourself questions, yourself, not other people. You're seeing that the answers lie within you, right? It's the same thing with therapy. Most the best therapists, they barely tell you what to do. They may imply it, but with proper questioning. So the take here is for you to look for a behavior that you are trying to mimic. So I've left the persuasive part. I showed you the power of questioning while you're persuading. Now I've told you about negotiating. I'm talking about breaking limiting beliefs and living the life that you want to live. It's by whenever you have a limiting belief, question the belief. Look for people who have already achieved that thing. And at some point, it will begin to make sense to you. Like I said, questions are very tricky, right? Because you can ask yourself questions, and because of your biased nature, you might miss the point. So learn how to ask questions that are yes or no. And the more yeses you get, the more your subconscious, because your life is ruled more by the subconscious part of you, the more yeses you answer, the more willing and the more willing you are to actually effect that action, and the more you move towards it. That is a real hack for life. A real hack that nobody ever tells you when it comes to behavioral change. Will you do this? Hmm, I don't know. Okay, fine. That's the start of asking yourself questions, trying to break that belief. I myself, at this current position, I have limiting beliefs. But when I make videos like this, it's sometimes, even at the gym, it exposes my limiting belief. And before you know it, I begin to ask questions. And it's best to do it on a paper and biro, right? And so speaking about paper and biro, one of the most effective habits you can ever do is to journal. And when you're journaling, you're asking yourself questions, you are answering them, and you answer them on the black and white paper. When you reflect on those answers, it tells you more about yourself. That is why the people who journal have one of the best self-improvement methods or self-improved lives in the world. So yes, that's it. Let me just see if I have any quotes here. It says, if you want to create a positive behavior, don't make statements, because statements are like false, right? But if you ask binary questions, yes or no questions, this will help the person to think. People are more likely to answer yes if it will bring them close to who they want to be. And once they answer yes, and the yes is more likely to come true. Yep. So guys, that's it. I really wish that this breakdown is something that will inspire you to go and grab a copy of this book. It's a book that I would say it's written by Steve Bartlett. And Stephen Bartlett, sorry, not Bartlett. Stephen Bartlett is a guy who I feel like he already does this in almost every day. He brings ideas that will change your life. So if you listen to his podcast, you get to realize that there's no way you listen to his podcast and not just get value from it. You don't just become a better person. So I really hope that this video has served you. This video has made you think about how you can begin to improve your life, be more persuasive, break limiting beliefs, and please, one last thing I'll say is please use this thing for good. Because if you truly understand this thing, which is underlining the art of questioning mixed with psychology, you can actually be very, very, I use the word powerful. You can be it creates a thin line, because some people can cross that thin line, become persuasive, right? When you're persuasive, you're helping both parties, right? So I mean, digress a little bit because it's me. I digress a lot. So when you become persuasive, for example, I had a friend of mine who came to me and said that he feels I'm very manipulative. And I asked the question, all right, go ahead, tell me where I manipulated you. He said he doesn't know, but he keeps doing the things that I tell him to do. I said no. So I felt like at that moment I came up with the idea that no, don't think I'm manipulating you. I think I'm persuading you to do things on your behalf for your own good, right? And I asked him a question. Is there anything that I've told you to do that is for as in, have you seen me profit from anything I have told you to do? He thought about it. There was a pause for a few minutes. I said no. And yet, you call me manipulative. And he began to, stammer and everything. I'm like, that is the point. That is where everything falls apart. That's where it dawned on me that it's a very thin line between manipulating and persuasive. I've gotten comments from from other people. That is why, moving on, I started to take all of my personal friendly talk and bring it online. So when people see it, you know that it's coming from a genuine place. You can either listen to my advice or you don't listen to it. I'm not speaking to you for you to go and do rubbish. But I tell you that this thing is so powerful. But if you misuse it, it looks like it's a thin line between persuading and manipulating. They have they have the same way. It's the same way a gold digger uses the exact same tactics of somebody who is very caring and loving. It's the same way the person they call a fuck boy uses the same tactics of a lover boy, of a very charming person. So I know I have digressed a lot, but I just felt like I should share that because it's a very powerful message, and I figured I was touched to share it. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really, really hope that this video served you. Please kindly share this video with somebody who you know will like it. It's actions like that that gets people to that enforces a change around the world for people to become more persuasive. And when you become more persuasive, you get you get more of what you want out of life because you are more persuasive. You don't force people. You do things that are beneficial to both parties. And when you become more persuasive, you become more assertive, and you get what you want out of life. But manipulations, it's a one-sided thing, and people rarely get profits in return. So thank you very much. I just feel like I should keep going, but no, I'm going to stop now. If you ever feel like you want more of it, feel free. Let's talk in the comment section. We can do more, and something that I think I would enjoy. Talk to you soon. Alright, so I'm good. Okay. Alright. Okay. So a lot of stuff, and I'm thinking about planning for the week and everything. I just feels like I have like a lot of things to do right today, but my major priority is one was on to get out my long form content. That means I'm recording every single day. Um, I'm not recording something that is stressful. Two, at the same time, I'm strategizing for the coming week, right? Because it's the whole idea is I should fail at it until I get good at it. That's one of my ways of tackling life. I should have taken a different road. Why now? So in Nigeria, man, the moment churches have something, enter that place. Are you saying you want me to wait for you? Because you're home. Okay, I mean, where we driving in Lagos is pretty interesting though. Now please move now. Who is this? To be very honest, right? It's almost like I feel like sorry, this may sound no, I think I should rather not say it because it sounds very very rude, and I think let's talk about women and the fact that there's a reason a lot of good guys don't know how to handle women is because the real advice regarding women sounds like misogyny, right? It's like this world is just filled with nuances, right? I could give you, I could give you two contradicting advices that work, but the thing is, if you don't understand the context which they work, you'll be very very lost. So, for example, now it's the advice that a misogynist gives, right, works for women, and there's a reason for it. So not for all of the advice though. I mean, apart from things like being physical with them, which I feel the guy should be arrested. Even the lady should be arrested for going physical. But a lot of the advice you get work at the same time don't work because of a lot of people lack the understanding, and worst case they lack the application. Someone says, "Oh, you shouldn't really consider women, right? Or shouldn't take women serious." No, Someone who doesn't understand that context would go around ignoring the feelings of his partner. But what he means is what it means in that context is a woman should be there to complement your life and not be the focus of it. Right? So I just feel like one of my goals in life is to help people to think about the context more than the information itself, and two, to help people be able to think from first principles. Like I've said, the world is filled with a lot of nuances. Two conflicting advice can be right. You see people who are focused and they get things done. You see people who have like multiple focuses and still get things done. But one thing people should realize is that person who has multiple interests and getting things done probably has that ADHD. So when it comes to any interest he likes, he's hyper focused. Hyper focused. But the person who is like focused, who can't handle two separate tasks, no, obviously not at the same time, but at different intervals. Maybe for example, is building a business at the same time building a brand. A lot of people can do that. Rather just focus on one, right? And let the other one die out. While see somebody, he's probably building multiple businesses, right? And to be very, very frank, this whole idea of try to focus, you get as much as possible, still needs context, still needs understanding. Some people, they have like two ideas they greatly want to work on, and now they both work on the ideas. The two of them are successful, maybe not as successful as the person who's doing one, but we forget something. The definition of success is supposed to be a personal thing. It's not a thing that two people are supposed to have the exact same definition of. If two people have the exact definition of success, somebody is not doing something right. No. They're probably having a shared source of ideas, because to be very frank, if you have been on the internet long enough, you get to realize that the minimum wage on the internet is $10,000 per month, which is an idea a lot of people have received, right? Which in itself is not really a bad thing, but I think one way to think in this life that will boost somebody's quality of living is nothing is good, nothing is bad, everything plays a role. Hmm. I just read it out like I was reading the Kabbalion, right? So I think so. I've listened. It's audiobook. I've never had the physical copy. Neither have I even read the digital copy. But I have read the what do they call it, the audiobook like several times, and I like the way Master Key Society put it together. That I like that they spell out the principles and the way they read it out. Let me see if I can even remember it. I can't remember, but I think the degree of the pendulum swing to the left is the degree of the pendulum swing to the right. Something along those lines. And they now bring in the punchline. So yes, a way to boost your quality of life is to know that nothing is good, nothing is bad. That every single thing plays a role. The question is, that thing you're looking at, does it play the role you want it to play for you? If it doesn't, move on. So, for example, I feel one of the most relatable topics that I'm aware of in this context is when you meet women, you get to realize that there are roughly around three kinds of women when it comes to relationship situations, right? Relationship and fun and everything. You have the hoes, you have the mistresses, you have the wives. A lot of people insult hoes for not being wife materials. Yeah, a lot of them know that they don't want to be wife materials. So when somebody wipes them up, it's a matter of time before they are back on the streets. Now something is bringing them to the streets. I'm not trying to look down on them. I'm trying to use what it's their passion to be on the streets. And I feel no one should look down on them. At the same time, no one should try to take them off the streets and put them in a space where they were never ever built for. So the mistresses kind of feel like, hmm, I really don't know what the definition is, but if I'm to move in my understanding, right, of what I have seen as a mistress, she is almost qualified to be a wife material, but for some reason, it's like she's the balance between wife material, which is in most cases a conservative person. Most wife materials in almost all definitions are always conservative. I have barely seen liberal wives, so she's that balance between the the conservative wife definition and the one for the streets. You just know that there's something at the back of your head that cannot make you wife at all. You see a lot of women that they're very sweet, right? Good looking, speak very well, well presentable. But for some strange reasons, they just can't get themselves to get married, right? When you bring up the issue of marriage to them, it icks their ears. Now, each of these three play a role, and if you understand the role each of them play, you should know that, because even as per guys to play a role. So, for example, the whole she helps with the fun because a lot of men are bored, a lot of people are bored, so she helps with the fun. To be very very frank, I feel like not being stimulated or enjoying boring things. If you enjoy boring things, then a conservative wife is good for you. Trust me, you get used to it. Like, she's not so much fun, but the whole can be a source of fun, right? While the housewife is a source of peace, calm, stability. I use the word calm because calm is boring, right? But from time to time, women have a way of shaking things up. I mean, with their rhetoric. Every time I speak about women, I get this idea from this Buddhist book that says that women are invited. Hey, I'm on the wrong lane. Shit. Women are invited calamity. Women are invited. Women are invited calamity and stuff. So it's just like what I think it basically means is that fine, right? They are. I think so. They're important, right? But if you're bringing them into your life, you should expect some form of chaos. So I had a thought this morning talking about how I had a thought this morning talking about how a guy who doesn't have like a girlfriend is so calm, he's peaceful. Now he needs a source of chaos in his life, and yes, if it doesn't come from a woman, maybe a business, maybe a business, maybe a what do they call it? Maybe a business, mostly a business or a job. But the idea is that healthy people have that balance of chaos. That means so. Healthy people have that balance of order and chaos. So yes, because without it, if you move towards it, if you move towards the chaotic aspect, although I feel that it has to do with stages of life. If you move towards that, your early days of life, right? You see that there's naturally more chaos. But as you grow older, there's naturally more order in your life. So, but it's all about, it's all about having that balance. So, I want to pick somebody up. I may have to stop recording. Yeah, that's perfect.
There are parts to making this thing happen. My own is that your interest is not there. So the questions that I expected you to ask was I did think everything. You understand? I don't want to be that I will go there. There are certain things that I will not think about. I'll ask that we can have it. My partner is chilling. Let me finish now, because this thing is vexing me. My partner is chilling and is not involving himself in the planning that I'm going to do. I'm not going to give them
Is it
feedback.
not a script that they will give us to work based on based on okay, okay, this is what goes on from this thing, and then we build up on that.
Ah, Sunday. Sunday, Uncle Sunday. So, try to sit inside it as low as you can.
That's part of it. That's the part I do.
Good. Yes, come here. Yes. Yes. Aha. That is
That's how it should be. So when he blow you in some months time, you fly. You know how they do fly for inside cartoon. you always doubt everything when they tell you. Get ready for action. In as much as people are doing this thing, it has its problems.
It's not about strength, it's about technique.
Exactly.
Once you master the technique,
No, but punching the ground does not give you technique now. It doesn't give you technique.
we know it will give you.
Just 10.
30 Shebi. Just 10. One leg out. Only 10.
One secret I use is use the smooth part of the cut.
Go. No. See. Don't do this. Yes. Yeah. Don't release. Let's go. Ease up. Surrender.
So hold on. So no, keep the go up. So take your knees like this. So yeah, like this, all right? So the alignment is bend. Yeah. So but keep your static. So push this. So no. Press this. Press it behind here. You have to keep it.
Yeah, 3 sets. 10.
I'm in fifth already.
So when you stretch, raise it.
Bring them back. Stretch. Yeah, but you know we can stretch.
Yeah.
Go that fast.
That up activates the glutes. Yeah.
61 babu.
She be child that she be do 100 and she be like this. She be your motivation.
Now picking they motivate you.
Now begin ya. No see ya.
Let's go reach my age first.
This is your age.
Yeah.
Let's go.
If I don't give one knock for head. Yeah, see, they're doing side kick, Martin. It's supposed to be roundhouse. So, see, from the back, right? So you bring it this way, then stretch forward, yeah, then up, yeah. So for
When you start getting it, when you start feeling it, when you know you feel it, you can start adding power. Even if it means holding that pole, right? To just get that thing, to get your balance, do so.
Okay.
Whichever baby steps you want to get, no wahala, just get it right.
Okay, sir.
I'll be here.
Sunday, just say they go fly with this thing. Hold on, well, you get one day where they kick for gym, 2 bags. I said one was behind the back. You saw me kicking, no. He come on kick where I don't launch finish. I said what head? You waka pass the bag. I said now sleep you go sleep like this, so because you go wake up, you dey press your head. So, no just try do mistake say you want follow me talk. You just drop the pad. Now your head straight. Oh, come now.
Leg it.
Is it a cue?
And you kill.
Okay, so no, you turn like this now.
How? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's roundhouse now. So go ahead. How many?
10.
See? If you turn very well.
Yeah, I don't talk.
Yeah. Good now. Let me get you. Okay. 10-10 or on the queue. Hold on, just hold on. Okay, yeah, something like that.
What if I for you?
Yeah, so she start the weak side. This is the weaker side for me. This is my weaker side for me. Yeah, right. Hmm?
You're not picking it. I'm not asking power, but you're not picking. You're kind of dusting, bouncing off it.
I should still go straight.
Okay, let me see. You're on target now. Hit this thing. You're not on target. So
I don't know this is.
you're not on target.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't know where's Rusty, but
You're not. Hit it.
okay.
Oh yeah, hit it. Oh, you didn't say kicking it back.
Not the first time.
Kick it now.
I don't know, baby. I don't know what it was.
You're doing. See, your leg is doing this.
Jay, kick
See that?
Okay, kick. I don't know what.
This chamber after. Fail and done. Okay. I was going to say use this one. This
What's the difference?
Help him boost. Don't use this one.
Okay.
This one is good for somebody learning how to kick with power. This one is good for somebody that you want them to learn how to kick.
No, now face
It's not
face me
roundhouse.
like this now.
It's roundhouse now. You face him like this. You have to make it clap.
Okay.
Yes, I can see your car.
Yes. In the evening, I was already rusty.
Where's your dad?
No, I just stood up and my knee just started paining me.
I probably see the morning. Do something in the morning.
So maybe. But Friday,
Okay, walking together.
I went to go and jog and find it.
For how many hours?
So use this one instead.
I didn't even reach 30.
Okay, start with that one first. Start with weaker side.
Yeah, this my right is actually the weaker side.
Huh?
My
Your right leg
Yeah,
is weaker.
yeah,
Are you serious?
yes. For rounders, yes.
You're taking your knee out. Take your knee under the seat. Let your knee travel under it first.
Okay.
Bring it out. You have to now swing. Take your knee under, then pivot.
Eat it.
How am I hitting? Okay.
Not your knee.
Raise your knee.
Just
Just raise your knee. Don't kill.
right to left. Yeah. Then step out. And then yes. Make sure everything is in point.
Well, that has power even if you not kick it. Mm-hmm. Let me try and get this with my guide in it.
It's not that easy.
Yeah.
Slow you down.
Sorry?
That's
No, yeah, because I was trying to be mindful of this at the same time. So, yeah. Let's move back. This cause blisters. Rest to be blisters.
Just don't want to accept.
Hmm? I see. I can see the stretch is causing. How does it mean now? Martin is in my class. Martin is in my waist class.
Yeah, but you know, say, This one and Amati yet.
Huh?
This one and Amati yet.
But I don't know why would not kick somebody's head. It's too fun now. Like, going to reach somebody's head, making that be your main purpose, to me is not. It's very risky. No, it's fine. I'll play.
You know, when people make you run on a narrative, when it makes you think that if it's not like this, I am not. It's not.
Better. Not chamber before, not chamber, then remember to kick. Yeah. Your right leg, okay. Alright. Okay. How many have I done? I've done.
I know. After I heard red belt.
Like she didn't give me. If it was not sharp in class, I won't give her a
Red belt.
Sorry.
Okay. I was wondering too.
Just sleep. Boys, don't rest on the heel of your back off the ground. Yes.
Now I'm disoriented.
You're not surrendered. You're thinking too much.
And that's the point now.
Number 2, don't let your legs be in one line. Open up.